guys, welcome back into another video of Code with DC YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm gonna tell you about Angular and some basic information about Angular that you should know whenever you are working in Angular framework. Let's get started. And also in today's video, we'll be sharing some data binding information about Angular, how data is binded, what is two-way data binding. So let's get started about this discussion, guys. Basically, Angular is a first of all, there are two things we should know about Angular, which is the first one is the Angular JS, and the second one is the Angular. And uh, between these, we should know the difference between this. So basically, Angular JS is both are front end web framework, that is fine, but every time we have some kind of like what is the similarity between these two things like Angular JS and Angular. So here basically Angular JS indicates that Angular JS uses JavaScript as a language to create components, or yeah, having some communication between that model with controllers. And after that, if we look into Angular, just Angular, not an Angular JS, so in that we are using TypeScript in their models. And like this we are using Angular, and there are lots of versions, and currently I think Angular 14 is running on. Stable version is Angular 8 only, and maybe 12 be stable, but you can check accordingly if you want to differ with versions basically add features and some of the updates which can help us to achieve things which are not achievable in the Angular 8 versions. These are the difference. And one thing, or both are used to create a single page application plus dynamic web applications, which is uh, dynamically, so all the things will be happen dynamically, not on the static pages like which are we are doing in the HTML. And dynamic pages, if you heard about dynamic pages, what does it mean? So basically there is some files which are there in Angular, which is known as app. Inside app, there will be component for that app, and this component will take all other components dynamically according to our actions on the views. Views are nothing but the .html file, and whatever we do, like click on the buttons, and whatever we'll do, it will happen dynamically. So let us understand these things deeply. So let's get started. Basically, in today's video I'm gonna introduce code sandbox as also, so that this is the, because lot of people face uh, processing issue in their laptop, because whenever we you use Visual Studio, it consumes RAMs, and that's why our PC becomes slow sometimes. But if your PC is strong enough to process to use Visual Studio Code, that's fine. But if some of the people are not able to continue with that, and or they are getting irritated with the slow processing, so they can use the Angular 8 code on codesandbox.io. Codesandbox.io is a basically editor in which all the things are. So that's why we're using code sandbox, so that we avoid this slow processing using. Okay, so let's get started about codes Angular 8 code sandbox. Simply you can write code sandbox Angular 8 in the Google search bar, and after that you can enter and click on them, and it will, some interface will be displayed like this only. And let me introduce this interface to you guys. Okay, it is processing, not an issue. And if you guys if you want to store your whatever you changes to, so simply you can go on to the sign up for free to create unlimited sandbox. Okay, here you can sign in using your GitHub account, and whatever you want to do with you can do. And here if we'll come here, so here let me introduce some of the things. So here are the file, this is a file explorer, in which are all the files will be initialized for Angular files. Like here is the Angular src, app, assets, environments, index.html, and there are many more files which we need to understand only what these things are. Basic high level understanding is fine, and we can work accordingly. And here if you see, this is the code editor in which we are writing codes. And here if we check here, we are able to see some of the URL section. Okay, this is a URL, and which we can take it in our mobile and check our application is working fine or not. Here our application will be displayed here, in which you are seeing installing dependencies 1 out of 15. It is currently initializing all the things for us so that we can able to see the uh, required data, or whatever we are creating here we would be able to see here only. And let me introduce the file section, so that you can understand what it is and what are the things going on currently. Here are the dependencies which will be if you want to add some animations in your Angular. So here are the things, some packages which are getting installed in the package or JSON file. And if we look into this src folder, there are three folders which are subfolders, which are app, assets, environments. App folders contains components and set of components or set of sub components, which means if we open this, let me check, currently it is processing. So if we click on app, so you can able to see that there are some css files, html files, ts files, and module.ts file. So what these things are, uh, these things will be like, if I'll open a css file, will contain all the css which we wanted to apply to our html. Okay, if we check here, so here some are the style tags, inline styling to this div element, which is text alignment center. And there is a one h1 tag which is heading tag, in which we are trying to display this message, welcome to title, in which this is the string interpolation, which is which is related to data binding only. And if we check here, h1 img width, this is the image width, which is nothing but for Angular only. And these are the basic thing, we can make changes according to r only. And if we go into ts file, these are some importing sections, like import component from Angular code, which is uh, important, because so that we can use this angular component, Angular element, to declare our selector, which is app root. Selector basically means that your tag name. Okay, uh, if we here template URL, this is the URL for app dot. This is the declaration of your HTML file, which is this one. And if the template no, after declaring this, you would be able to add your string interpolation changes your data, when you would be able to uh, bind your data with this file if you add this template URL. And this style URL is basically used to declare that we are using this CSS for this particular file. Okay, maybe you can change accordingly, but you need to add this. If you are on the same file, you can just add dot and slash and then app.component.css file. This will add your CSS changes to this .html element. And let's see what this export class is. Export class is basically used to export your app component, which is nothing but these all the files or these all sections in your, wherever you want to add your component. This is particular one component, app component, which is available inside index.html. And if you want to refer this component into index.html, you basically use this selector app root. If I open index.html, you would be able to see this app root section inside here. Okay, and this data will be displayed. Currently this app component is giving some sort of errors, which may be avoid after this initialization. So let them initialize and we'll understand other files as well. So another file that you should know here is, as you can see, uh, okay, our our code setup is initialized properly. After that, as you can see, welcome to code sandbox. As you can see, the title contains code sandbox here. Okay, title contains code sandbox here. And if we go here inside index.html, here as you can see, here is a app root component. Okay, if I'll remove here, it will it will not display anything. Let me add here h1 tag so that you can understand. H1 tag, uh, code DC angular basic to. Okay, that's enough guys. And let me remove this app root section. Okay, as you can see, our component has been removed successfully. So if you want, if we not include that app component, it will not display anything. So let me control Z. Okay, so that's a point guys. And we should not include anything hard coded here. That's why we are calling it as dynamic web page application using Angular or React. So this is a selector which is declared inside our TS files. As you can see here, this is the TS files. So, and one thing, whenever you declare a component, uh, some by default selectors will, app will be by defaultly added into the start only app slash root. And if we, this is the module.ts file which is having declarations of all the modules at a higher level. Okay, at a higher level, which is declarations. This app component should be there so that we can refer it to everywhere or in this particular file, in the HTML file or uh, like that. So imports browser modules, these are the things. In the providers, we are adding services files which we can use from the inner point of view. And these are the bootstrap, which is app component only. So like that we can do. And and if we want to Like let let's see some data bindings here. So to bind your data from module to Viv, simply this TS to HTML, we need to declare this title in the inside our class, that is app component. Or if you want, uh, we can declare it like property. Which property we can say? mm, like code, like another title is equals to, is equals to string, string is equals to, okay. Here we have to add some well, code C. So control save. No control save. Here things are saving by default. And if I come here in the HTML file and I want to use that welcome to, and either here we have to write another title. So as you can see here, our name is being displayed properly. This is the string interpolation method inside which we are adding these things. And if you want to bind our data according to uh, two-way data binding, we have to, let's add another component here, div, okay. And inside div we have to add here ng model, which is used to bind two-way data binding. Ng model here, ng model, and let me add that changes to another title. And if we add that title here, okay, so here I will add this another title, or okay, that's it. And ng model we should use with input section, so that we can add our changes into that variable. So here we'll be adding input, and type is equals to text only. And if I'll add that tag here, and it will reflect those changes into this variable, and it can also be add the changes here also. So let me add this, and is it saved or not? Control save. um Sorry guys, that ng module is not working right now. So basically, I'll introduce this ng module in this video, and we'll talk later in more detail about ng module. Ng model, I think. G model. um Let me add to that variable name. Okay, it is not working. In the model, let me add comma ng g. Yes, there is something. but it is not taking right now. Let me cut that and include that in G. Now it is working, and let me check where is the changes going on. So let me add this value, Control X, to after my title. Now we'll check here what is going on. Mm, so currently it is not working, but let me introduce this. So basically here what is why this is called as two-way data binding. Here this is used to bind the event with a particular tag, and this is used to bind the property. Okay, this is used to bind the property, or like that we can say, but so in more detail we will discuss in the next video, and that will be completely uh, based on some of the elements, which elements after learning that we would be able to create some sort of elements, interesting elements which we can use in our daily life. So please, for that you can subscribe to my channel and wait for the notifications. So that's it for this video, guys. We'll meet in the another video with Angular tutorial only. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.